So hello and welcome to the second unit where we will be discussing soil microbiology. I would like to start with definition of soil and the aspect of soil we will be seeing with respect to soil microbiology. Soil can be studied under various heads. It can be studied in physics, it can be studied in chemistry, it can be studied in biology, botany, zoology, because soil is a medium which encompasses all types of activities. It is highly dynamic in nature. So what is this soil for microbiologists? So for that we will just start with the definition of soil. We will dwell into different types of soil present in India, how soil can be a medium for study, we will see that, and few pioneers in the field of microbiology who contributed to soil microbiology. So this will be the flow of explanation, and I hope you take down the points whichever are necessary for you. So soil can be defined as a mixture of organic matter, minerals, gases, liquids and organisms. This is very important. It contains organisms which togetherly it supports life. Earth's body of soil is called as pedosphere. It has four important functions. The soil which is present on the earth's crust, it has been found by millions and millions of years of activity. It's called as weathering. What are those activities, how that takes place, that is a part of geological studies. Those interested can dwell into that, but here my main point of discussion will be with respect to soil microbiology. So earth's body of soil, which is called as pedosphere, has four important functions. Which are those? A medium for plant growth, first thing. It is also a mean for storage of water, water supply and water purification. Earth, it acts as a natural filter for water. The water, it is cycled throughout the water cycle. It is, soil is a modifier of earth's atmosphere. Earth's atmosphere is up to a great extent controlled by soil. And most importantly, our main area of focus for this whole unit or main aim for studying soil microbiology will be soil as a habitat for microorganisms. All these functions in their turn modify the soil and their properties. Microbial activity, physical activity, chemical activity, they interact and a soil ecosystem is there, a soil habitat is there, and they modify the soil properties. Soil also is commonly referred to as earth or dirt, but dirt is not used in biological sciences, though it is a common term. We will use it as soil or earth. The pedosphere, it interfaces with the lithosphere, the hydrosphere, the atmosphere and the biosphere. So these are the surfaces immediately in contact with the soil: pedosphere, then the lithosphere, the hydrosphere, atmosphere and the biosphere. As you can see, soil, these are of various types. We will see the types of soil. So this was just to define soil, which is defined as a mixture of organic matter, minerals, gases, liquids and life, living organisms which together support the life. Okay, and the earth's body of the soil is called as pedosphere. The term pedolith is commonly used to refer the soil. As I said, soil consists of various phases of minerals and organic matter. If you see the a slice of soil, earth, top is horizon, that is loose and partly decayed organic matter. Then A horizon, top is O horizon. Then A horizon is mineral matter mixed with some humus. This is the second layer, mineral matter mixed with some humus. E horizon is the light colored zone of leaching. Here biophysico-chemical process of leaching takes place. Then accumulation of clay from above, when whatever is leached it comes and gets accumulated, and partially altered parent material. This, what is this parent material? It is the original minerals which are interacting over time. I will come to that. And unweathered parent material means it is not affected by any weathering or the atmospheric conditions. Okay, so these are the basic physico-chemical layers of soil. Now this gives a habitat for biological activities which we as microbiologists will be interested in. So soil, it is a product of several factors: influence of climate, then elevation, orientation, slope of terrains, microorganisms which are present in the soil, then plants which are growing on it. So it continuously undergoes a development by various physical, chemical and biological processes, and one of the most important is weathering, which is associated with erosion. So large particles are converted into smaller, simpler particles, clay, sand, which allows the biota to take the place and grow. So it is complex, it is strongly connected with each other, that is, all the things are connected with each other, and this is called as the soil ecosystem. There are various types of soil: sand, silt and clay. These are the three basic types which when it comes to agriculture. So let us see that gravel, sand, silt and clay. These are different in their size, their composition. All are products of weathering of the rocks. So if you see gravel, it is the largest one. 2 millimeter to 75 millimeter can be its size. Sand is next to it, 0.05 millimeter to 2 millimeter, and silt smaller than this, 0.002 millimeter to 0.05 millimeter, and the smallest is clay. So a mixture of sand, silt and clay is 0.002 millimeter. A mixture of sand, silt and clay is called as loam soil. Okay, so the clay, it is heavy. When it is added with moisture, it becomes heavy. It is rich in nutrients, it can retain water, but it becomes somewhat sticky, but nevertheless it is a very good medium for growth of plants and other type of life forms. Sandy soil, these are the types of soils, various types of soils. These do not retain much water, they dry out very quickly. Sand, just beside the seashore you can see the sand. It is not a good medium for growing the plants or any other life forms because it is very less in nutrients. Silt soil is the best soil. It is blackish in color. It is fertile, very light, it retains moisture and it can be easily compacted. The mixture, as I said, of clay, sand and silt is called as loam. Loamy soils are ideal for most garden plants because it holds plenty of moisture and it also drains out the water very well so that sufficient air can reach the plant and the roots. So this is loam soil, types of soil. Now there are, before going to the microbiology, I would like to add some more to your general knowledge of different types of soil in India. There may be more than this, but the most important 4 types out of 5 types, out of which 4 I will explain: alluvial soils, black soils, red soils, laterite soils and desert soils. Desert soils is sandy, you know very well, I will not go much into that, but let's see these 4 types of soil which are most commonly present throughout the length and breadth of India. Now alluvial soil, see the figure over there, it is red in color. Okay, it is mostly found in northern plains, that is Punjab. From Punjab to Bengal, Assam, northern plains, these soils, these are very common. It is the most important soil found in India, covering 40% of total land area. 40% of India's land area is alluvial soil. It is very fertile. It contributes largest agricultural wealth, means most of our agriculture comes from alluvial soil. This soil supports nearly half of the Indian population. Whatever we are eating, the food today comes from these alluvial soils. The alluvial soil is found, as I said, in the northern plains and coastal areas of Gujarat. They also have some deposits of alluvial soil. The fine particles of sand, silt, clay, they are called alluvial soils. The most important crops which are grown are rice, wheat, maize, sugarcane, tobacco, cotton, jute and oil seeds. So this is the major type of soil in India. Second is black cotton soil. We in Maharashtra and the Marathwada region, the cotton soil, black cotton soil, it's also called as a regular soil. These soils are locally known as regular soil or the black cotton soil. Internationally, these are known as tropical Chernozems. Tropical Chernozems. These soils are famous for cultivation of cotton. Therefore, they are called as black cotton soil. Very predominant in Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, and some parts of Tamil Nadu. These soils are rich in minerals and they are very fertile in nature. Chemically, the black soils, they are rich in lime, iron, magnesia, and aluminium. They also contain potash, so it becomes a very good fertilizer incorporation inside it. But they lack phosphorus and nitrogen and some organic matter, therefore they need to be added with fertilizers. But nevertheless, a very good soil. These soils are highly productive and well suited for the cultivation of cotton, pulses, millets, linseed, tobacco, sugarcane, vegetables, and citrus types of foods. All types of citrus fruits can be cultivated horticulture in the black soil. The red soil and the yellow soils, these are known as chalka in Andhra Pradesh, very common in the Orissa, Chhattisgarh, and Andhra Pradesh region also. Along the western ghats of our country and a long stretch of area along the western ghats is with this soil. These are called as the chalka. They are red at the top and yellow at the bottom. So these are loamy in nature, means it is a combination of clay, silt, and three combinations are there, just as I explained about loam. So this is a loamy type of soil. Yellow and red soils, they encircle the black cotton soil zone, means wherever there is black cotton soil present, around that automatically there is red and yellow soils. These soil develop the red color due to wide diffusion of iron in crystalline and metamorphic rocks. It looks yellow when it comes in contact with water, that is when it is occurring in a hydrated form, it is yellow in color. Upper layer is red because it is exposed to air oxidation, and lower part which is wet, it remains yellow. It is very suitable for irrigation with respect to crops like wheat, cotton, pulses, tobacco, millets, oil seeds, potato, maize, and groundnut. The fourth soil is laterite soil. The word laterite has been derived from the Latin word later, which means brick. Later means bricks. These soils, when they are wet, they are as soft as butter. But when they become dry, they become so strong like brick, or you can say stone. So they are dried, they are cut as bricks and used for construction of house and wells also. Most of the South Indian wells, they are using laterite soil bricks because it is highly porous in nature, very strong, and has a very good filtration capacity. These laterite soils are commonly found in Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Madhya Pradesh, and hilly areas of Orissa. The soil is reddish in color due to presence of iron oxide. So that is a very good material for the well construction. These soils represent the end product of decomposition and generally low in fertility. They are not good for cultivation, but nevertheless tree crops like cashew nut, tea plantation is usually practiced in our country. In Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, and Kerala, it is used for tree crops. So application of manures, fertilizers can render these soils, addition of fertilizers, this can make this soil fertile. So this is the laterite soil. When it comes to any type of soil, there are 6 major components in the soil. That is eroded rock material, mineral nutrients, and dead and decaying organic matter. This is our area of study, dead and decaying organic matter. Microorganisms, they form one of the first predators in soil. If microorganisms were not present, then things wouldn't have decayed in soil and it would have been impossible for the food chain to sustain as it is sustaining today. Next important components, as you know very well, water, air, and living organisms. If you see a typical soil, a loam soil, let us say, majorly it is made up of 50% of solids, 45% of minerals, then 5% organic matter. The rest 50 is void or pores, that is gas. Half is filled with that pores, half of the water pores are filled with water and half of the pores are filled with gases. So you can see this is a component of a typical loam soil. Percent by volume, 25% water, 25% gas, 18% sand, 18% silt, 9% clay, and 5% organic matter. This is the typical composition of a soil. When it comes to soil nutrients, soil, they supply the plants nutrients, most of which are there in place in the particles of clay and organic matters. We call it as colloids. All these plant nutrients, they are absorbed on the clay minerals, and they are bound to the clay, and from there they can also be bound to organic compounds or part of living organisms which are dead and decaying, like microorganisms. These nutrients means in symbiosis we will see that even the microorganisms, they hold some nutrient supplying capacity to the plants, and these nutrients, they which are bound in the soil, they interact with water, that is moisture, and a buffer like solution is automatically created in the soil composition, which is wet or which is dry in nature. And then as the salts are leached out in this adsorption and giving out phenomenon, these plants, they take up. Leaching is due to acids and alkalis, nutrient materials, and that is uptaken by the plant. So it is a dynamic ecosystem where life is going on continuously. Plant nutrient availability is very majorly affected by soil pH. Alkaline soil, acidic soil, various types of soil chemistry is a different branch of study, and soil chemistry is very important for soil microbiology. That has to be understood. What has soil to do with the life systems with respect to the five kingdoms? Let us say plant, animal, microorganisms, protozoa, algae, fungi, zoological species. They thrive on the top surface, within the or inside the soil. 1 gram of soil, it has around 10 billion bacterial cells. Okay, 1 gram of soil can, in a very good condition, it can inhabit 10 billion bacterial cells, 50,000 protozoa, as well as bacteria, algae, fungi, earthworms, nematodes. They are present in the soil and thriving on the soil nutrients. The pores between the grains of minerals in the soil are filled with air and water, and all these life forms, they require oxygen and water. Then plants, they make up starch, they make up the carbohydrates. Plant matter litter is there. Litter means the thing, dead and decaying matter from the plant origin. So these need to make up glucose. They use photosynthesis, they carry out cell respiration. All these activities, they govern the life ecosystem of the soil. So this in general, where there is a high organic content in the soil due to the dynamic life activities, it is called as soil organic matter. Soil organic matter is made up of organic compounds which includes plant, animal and microbial material in the form of dead and living, both. What is soil organic matter? Any soil which is having a habitat of dead, living, decaying or growing microorganisms, plant material, zoological species, whatever supportive life form, that is called as soil organic matter. A typical soil has a biomass composition of 70% microorganisms, 22% macrofauna, that is earthworms, nematodes, etc., and 8% roots. This is a typical soil organic matter composition. If you see 1 acre of soil in any typical good fertile conditions, 1 acre of soil, it may contain 400 kilograms of earthworm. It can support, try to understand, it can support very efficiently 400 kilograms of earthworm, 1100 kilograms of fungi, around 6 to 700, I would like to make a correction, it is kilograms, 400 kilograms of earthworm, 1100 kilograms of fungi, 600 to 700 kilograms of bacteria, 60 kilograms of protozoa and 410 kilograms of arthropods and algae. So it is a big, huge, compact, complex, dynamic, life-sustaining matter which has been formed over the millennia. Means weathering of rocks and many physico-chemical processes, later on contribution of biological processes has converted what the earth is today and what the soil is today. So having said this, this was a brief introduction for you about the microbiological aspects of soil, but only introduction with respect to types and definition. Now in my next lecture we will be seeing what is the role of soil in supporting microorganisms. What is the role of soil as a culture medium for these microorganisms? When these microorganisms use soil as a culture medium, what are their dynamic activities and what it has to do with the soil ecology and the ecosystem? So again, as I say, take down the points as you wish, pause the button whenever you need, whenever you think that you need to take down, pause the switch, listen carefully. When you are listening, don't read, and when you are reading, don't listen, pause the video. Okay, so that's all for this presentation. In my next lecture we will be seeing microorganisms in soil and soil as a culture medium. Thank you. Goodbye.